All right, so welcome guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hit record. It is the 1st of October. I'm really excited to go over recognition, but like we just said before hitting the record button, Neil's gonna move recognition to the end of this call because he is actually on chat on his computer with Beachbody right now about getting something fixed on our account. So I'm really happy that you guys are here, like I already said, and I just wanna give you guys all big shout outs. Like I know Brooke has been working really hard, Casey has been working really hard, you guys have been doing your power hours for the whole team. Bobby's been sending me messages that she's sent to people. So I just want to like go ahead and say, like, you guys on the call right now, like you're doing a lot of stuff and like it's not going unnoticed. And I really just like I hope that you guys understand how much just I appreciate everything that you pour into each other and into this team. So just a huge thank you, huge thank you. Today I just really wanted to kind of go over a little bit about recruiting, a little bit about what our schedule looks like for this month, so that everybody kind of has a baseline in case if this is something that you guys want to join in on. I know Emily Brower was going to hopefully hop on this call and talk a little bit about one of the groups because it is hers, but if she doesn't hop on, I'll go ahead and cover it. That way we don't miss out too much on stuff. So let me open chat. Oh yeah, pictures from Google. I was like, let me open chat. Let me grab my little notebook right here. We moved seats. Sorry, Neil and I switched seats so that I could plug in. But I have been on some Josh Coates training and it's been really good. I know I put in the Boxer that today's was apparently 2 hours and we missed it because it was kids' lunchtime and nap time. But I'm going to try my best to do some brief, like basically some summaries and some overviews of some of the stuff that I'm learning. It is a recruitment training. And so one thing that really stuck out to me was he said, so Josh Coates, backing up a little bit, Josh Coates works with the John Maxwell team. John Maxwell is all about like life coaching and really just, performing at your best and being like the best version of yourself. Well, Josh tried to do that, but he realized that he was kind of just like, he was good at it, but like not really where he needed to be. And so he started to really focus on helping network marketers. And so he, for the last 4 years, has really helped a lot of network marketers. And most of them are people like, if you've ever done, like a lot of us love Micah Folsom and her power hours. Josh Coates is like the person that Micah Folsom has been, really using to help push her as a coach these last little bit. And the one thing that really just stuck out to me was that, let's see here, recruiting is mandatory. Network marketing is recruiting to get paid when other people do things. Direct sales is when you don't have a team and you're just selling a product. So I was kind of like, I get that, but a lot of us, like, we still love our products. But he really started to focus on, if you really want to succeed in a network marketing business, you just really want to like build up your team and have everybody start to take on that leadership role themselves. And he kind of just really put in here, so I'm just going to read this, is, technically Beachbody really only rewards recruiting. Like, yes, we make commissions off of sales, but those that are actually making money are those that have teams of people that are making lots of sales. And so he said, still, quote, sell the shit out of your products, but add on recruiting to this. And so we have to ask somebody every day to join the team, because every single day is what will start to build that muscle. So in Josh Coates training, what he has you do is he has you talk to 10 people a day, which that's not where I started. That's not like, if you're brand new and you're getting into this, or if I have a brand new coach, most of the time I'm not going to be like, go and invite 10 people a day, because that's, to me, and for most of the people that I personally attract, that would be a bit much. There's going to be those few that would be like, yeah, okay, cool, I can go recruit 10 people a day. But out of that 10, it's 7 of those should be about like product use, so lead with the product use, and 3 should be about coaching. So maybe if your numbers are, I want to talk to 3 people a day, then 2 of those people, like, just make sure, like, if they're watching your stories or something and they've seen your workouts, that you're just asking them, hey, like, I love that you're checking all of this out, like that you've been catching my stories for the last couple of days. Have you ever thought about joining into one of my challenge groups? And then one of those people that's been watching your stuff, hey, I love that you're checking out my stories. I went back to your page and I realized that you're really uplifting and positive. Have you ever thought about doing what it is that I do? Maybe that's part of why, I've seen you on my stories this last couple of days, because you're kind of wondering, what is it that I do? And I don't know if you've ever been asked about joining in as a Beachbody coach. So those could be like some very, very light, very simple examples of how you could do that with 2 people for the customer, 1 person for the coaching. And so I just thought, like, that was really cool. Like, that was just a different different way to look at it. And I think we've heard this said a couple times, but if we've had great results with the products, and if we love them, and we've gotten fitness results or mindset results or nutrition results, and our family has started to see those things, then recruiting is your obligation. It is no longer just this thing that you just do. It's truly your obligation to pass that along. I believe all of us are Christians, and we know that I would say that most of us start to realize that once we start to take care of ourselves, our temple that God gave us, that we start to pass on this attitude, this love, this passion that, and Beachbody is what led me to Jesus. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I didn't necessarily go to church and really understand what I was doing until I became a Beachbody coach. And I know that sounds so far-fetched, but it was because the people on the team were talking about God and this and Jesus, and they made it sound like they were friends with him. And I was like, I don't understand. That's not what I got from church. And so then when I started to kind of just follow along with these coaches, these are some of Michelle's older coaches, and I started just kind of follow along with them. I was like, well, I'm curious. And so that's sometimes how I have to approach coaching. I don't even look at it as the fitness side sometimes. I look at it oh my gosh, this girl could go through the same transition I went through, where she starts attending church and she starts realizing that her life has something more to it than, just a paycheck. And that, oh my gosh, now I'm going and getting baptized, rebaptized because I was baptized as a baby. But little things like that is what I think about, no, that really is my obligation. And I'm not saying I'm not as great as some missionary in the same sense of bringing people to Jesus, but you can still do whatever it is that fills your passion and fills you up, make that part of your mission and your obligation to help other people. So the last quote that I really liked was, it's from the book Good to Great. Good to Great takes great energy, but the stories, the invites, and the posts will bring in more energy. So getting from this is a good thing to this is a great thing. When you share those stories, when you share those invites, when you make those posts, that brings more energy into your life and into you than if you were to just do nothing. Because doing nothing actually will take more energy out of you, because you're going to start, all of us know how that works, that little cycle of oh God, I should have done that. Especially if you've quote worked all day, or you've worked your business for your hour, and then you realize you didn't send a single invite out. All you did was post a couple stories because it took you too long to make your stories. And then you wrote up a post, and that took you 20 minutes to do. And then it took you another 30 minutes or something before you posted it, got the courage to post it. And then your hour's up and you're like, I didn't even invite anybody. I didn't even start a new conversation. And you have that that angry feeling. I think all of us have probably have or may feel that at some point when you start to really get into your business. And so, you did some things, don't discount the fact that you did do stories and you did put up a post, but if you're not connecting with the people that are then engaging with your stories or then commenting, engaging on your posts, then your efforts aren't really going that full recruiting is my obligation. Your efforts are just showing off as my obligation. That's it. Putting it out there is my obligation, but I'm not going to follow up. So then more energy is actually going to be drained out of you because you're not bringing it that full circle of, okay, but I can really change somebody with this. Okay. So any questions off of that little bit that I shared? Did that make sense? And hey, Ashley, I know you're I just hopped on. I'd love to say that you're drinking coffee at 9 at night, 8 at night. You're not. I would hope not. Okay, so there was 4 questions that I actually think were really good from this as well. And the first question that Josh had was, if I'm continuing down this current path at the same level of recruiting, what growth can I expect to have in 2 to 3 years? So think about how many people you're having join into your team, or you're having join into your challenge groups that then you would like to turn into teammates. Whatever your recruitment process is, because there's nothing wrong with that way of recruiting either, having people start as challengers. But if you continue down your current path at the same level of recruiting now, what growth can I expect to have in 2 to 3 years? Now, if I recruited at the rate that I want to recruit for the next 2 to 3 years, what could my potential income be? Like if you actually recruited and helped a certain number of coaches join your team, and a certain number of coaches, get themselves started and help their first couple customers, and a certain number of customers get started, and maybe they fall in love and they start coaching, whatever it is. But coaching still has to be like joining in as a coach and recruiting to the coach opportunity, as Josh is telling us. And this is a little different than I've sometimes thought, but it has to be at the forefront. So if you recruited at the rate that you wanted to for 2 to 3 years, what could your potential income be? So if you have any, so he's having us type in the chat. So like for me, I'll just go ahead and share. So if I am recruiting at the current path that I'm recruiting, it'll be slow. It'll be slow, but my income will stay the same. I'll be at that around like $600 pay week, which is not a bad income. Like that's not bad. I'm grateful for it, but that's not where Neil and I need to be. Like I know that, because this is our income at this time in our life, and we really truly don't want to go get another job. And that makes me a little scared to tell you guys that's my income every week, but that is. So we really do want, like, I really see, like, I feel it. So the second question, I'll just share this with you because you may think I'm crazy, or you may be like, yeah, but my goal, like I want to be, and this, I get this number from my dad. I want to be like my dad. I didn't even realize that this was that much money at the time, but I want to be making $500,000 a year. Like I want to. I can do that. If dad can do that, I can do that. Like there's no reason why I can't do that. And I know that can happen with Beachbody. And like, I know that. And so I want that. And I know that would be like me starting to get really consistent with getting like 5 coaches that would actually like to maybe work with me and see if they want to work the business. So maybe they take off, maybe they don't. And 5 customers at minimum. Maybe they're 5 discount coach customers that are like, I just want the discount, or they're 5 customers all together every month. So that's 10 people. That's my goal. I really feel like at this point I can do that. So if I grew that much by doing the right things, who am I robbing by continuing to avoid recruiting? So question 3. So if I grew that much by doing the right things, who am I robbing by continuing to avoid recruiting? So if I don't recruit and I don't start working on those goals, who am I robbing? So I wrote down, like, I'm robbing myself, I'm robbing my kids, and I'm robbing Neil. And Neil and I work together. So like we're just robbing each other of time that we are now going to have to go spend in a job that we don't want to do. Neil and I've never liked traditional jobs. I'm like, there are some people that love them, and I love that there are some people that do them, because there's a lot of jobs out there that need done. Like Bobby's job is really important in what she does, and she likes her job. So there's no reason that everybody needs to do Beachbody coaching for their full-time income. That is for me what I truly want to do, because I have had other jobs and I really don't like them. Like really don't like them. And I really, really like this one. And I really don't want to go to another job. So I'm robbing myself, first of all. And then I'm robbing Neil, because he really likes this time freedom now. And he really likes this job too. And then I'm definitely robbing my kids, because I know that my time with them is going to drastically change if I had a 9 to 5. Like I know that. And then the last question was, if I was guaranteed to make that income, so if I was guaranteed to make my $500,000 income, how hard am I willing to fight against my limiting beliefs to get there? So whatever your goal is, so, if you were to continue at the rate that you're at right now, what would happen? If you were to go at the rate that you wanted, and you really wanted for your business, one, what would that kind of look like? And maybe you don't know the numbers, but maybe you know the income. Maybe you don't know the number of people that you need to help, but maybe you know the income. And then if you don't do those things, who would you be robbing by not doing those things? And that's okay. Maybe you're, and guys, it's okay if you're, I don't want anybody to think like that their goal has to be as big as mine, because we all are doing this for different reasons, and you have to figure out what your reason is. And then, if you were guaranteed that certain income, whether that's to pay for your kids' activities, or to be able to not have to go to school, or for Brooke to be able to pay for all of the school that you're going through right now, like with your Beachbody income, like to be able to pay for that without having to dip into any savings, like how hard are you willing to fight against those limiting beliefs that are telling you Like, no, you can't do that. Like, that's for somebody else, but that's not for you. Like, how hard are you willing to start to work on your mindset and your personal development to get there? So for me, I put that I'm willing to work on it daily and hard. And yeah, and then I wrote the number I should be recruiting every month is 5 coaches who want to work and 5 customers or discount coaches. And I'm not getting there because I'm not challenging myself to get up from the camp and climb the mountain. That was one of his kind of analogies that he gave us. I'm really